W News Reacts to here now. Um, Big D hit me up on Instagram and said that he wants me to do a reaction to his review, and I was gonna do that anyways. But before I do this video, I got a new fresh haircut, y'all. Cut this sad afro yesterday that I had in my hair. It's no longer needed, so I guess I'm starting off fresh, if you know what I mean. So we're gonna go ahead and get this reaction video started. Before I do that, click on the notification on my channel. Just subscribe and follow me on Instagram as well. With that being said, let's all sit back and relax and enjoy Big D's review of WrestleMania 34. I mean WrestleMania 34. Like, sorry if I'm talking like this because I just woke up a few hours ago. So.
Show on the road. Alright, let's get the camera up there. Let's get on. Let me check something real quick. Sorry about that. Hopefully my battery has a fucking timeout this time, because we're gonna be here for a while. Let me get the lighting here. Excuse me for a second. As you can see, I put a little caption there. Fuck John Cena, fuck Roman Reigns, and fuck Stephanie. Yo, good evening. How's everyone doing? It is your boy Big D, and this will be my WrestleMania review. Yo, what's up, Andrew? Yeah, what's up, Andrew?
By the way, I heard that Undertaker beat John Cena in 5 minutes, so at least he looked good last night. So
I'm gonna run through each match in order. I'm gonna run through each match in order, and I'm gonna tell you what I think of the match, what I think of certain things people did in the match, and after the end, I'll give my show. I'll give it my overall rating. Yeah, I know, I saw. But either way, yo, what's up, Nicholas Carter? What's up? How you doing? How you doing? Good? I'm not doing too badly. I ended up taking a long nap. That way I can be up to do this, because I got up pretty early this morning. So I took a nap. So that way I'd be up all the way through, so I can watch this whole thing, and I can do this. Some of those matches actually did put me to sleep. But anyway, now I'm gonna ask your permission here. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Can I please skip the kickoff?
yeah, I didn't. You know what? I didn't bother watching the kickoff show. I just thought it was kind of boring, if you ask me. So.
If I can please skip the kickoff, that'd be great. But if not, then fuck it, I'll do it. Because I typically don't really give a shit what happened during the kickoff. Oh, so I can skip the kickoff? If I can skip the kickoff, that'd be great. Because nothing really happened. The only things I can tell you is all I can tell you is Woken Matt Hardy won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. What else? Carmella teased the Money in the Bank contract. Cedric Alexander retained. No, Cedric Alexander won the title, and Naomi surprisingly won the.
Yeah, everybody on social media is still tripping over it. Like, why y'all getting mad because she won the Battle Royal? Like, because she's black? Shut up.
So what happened during the first match on the card? The first match that happened was Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus The Miz for the Intercontinental title. I mean, we get to the fireworks, and yeah, And I was not, I don't know about any of you, but I was not really a fan of the WrestleMania. I was not a fan of the WrestleMania background, the stage design. I was not a fan of it. It looked too bitch made, if you ask me.
That's how they do.
I was not a fan. I really wasn't.
That's how they do. They.
I thought it was pretty bitch made, but that's just my opinion. The system. What do you mean? Oh. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean here. So they basically do the WrestleMania introduction with the fireworks. They have the introductions. The announcers plug the show, and Seth Rollins makes his entrance, and that was pretty interesting ring attire Seth Rollins had there. I mean, it almost reminded me of, for any of you who watch Star Wars, if any of you out there who watched Star Wars Rebels, let me ask you a question. Which one of you have watched Star Wars Rebels, if anyone? I know, Ryoku. I know, dude. I know, Ryoku. I saw. You were pissed. You were pissed off. I mean, you were fucking pissed off on Twitter. But that was before. That was before I even got to the last part of the pay-per-view. I had to stay off Twitter most of the time because I had to stay off Twitter a lot because I didn't want nobody spoiling it for me. Yeah, the stage just looked way too girly. And when Seth Rollins came to the ring, it was very interesting. He looked a lot like Darth Maul from Star Wars Rebels. You know, his whole outfit when he had like the sleeveless tunic-like shirt and the black attire. He almost looked like Seth Rollins' outfit looked a lot like Darth Maul's from Star Wars Rebels, and I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, there's no complaints there. If any of you watched Star Wars Rebels and saw Darth Maul in that, especially the one where he was inside the Ghost Cruise ship, and he was trying to find the Jedi holocron. The outfit Seth Rollins was wearing was very similar to the outfit Darth Maul wore in there. I mean, Darth Maul wore many different outfits. At that point, he was just called Maul. But I mean, Darth Maul wore many different outfits throughout his existence. He wore a different one in Rebels than he did in the Clone Wars, which was different than the one he did in the Phantom Menace. But yeah, Seth Rollins makes his entrance, and then the Miz makes his entrance, and I'm not a huge fan of the Miz. I fucking can't stand him. Although there's going to be some people on here that actually do like the Miz, so I fully respect their opinion, and for those of you else who can't stand him just like I can, I would really like it if you respected their opinion, but I just can't stand him. But I will give Miz credit here. The Miz came to the ring with intensity. I mean, he was like bouncing up and down. He was bouncing up and down. He was ready to go. I mean, he was intense. And it looked like he had a beanie there, but he had some kind of Naruto-inspired headband. I mean, I don't know if you picked up on that. The Miz had almost a Naruto. It was almost a Naruto-style headband, if you've noticed. I mean, I thought it was a beanie at first because of the way the camera was angled, but it actually looked very much like a Naruto-style headband. For those of you who watch Naruto, for those of you who actually do watch Naruto, it looked very.
Yeah, hold on for a minute.
Yeah, I know, dude. But here's the thing. I'm gonna get to these matches in order. I'm gonna go in order and see what happened in these matches. So yeah, Seth Rollins makes his entrance, and then Finn Balor makes his entrance. And I'm sorry, but Finn Balor needs to fucking hold that L. Finn Balor's gotta hold that L because he had the fucking gay rights movement designs on his goddamn leather jacket and trunks. PC pandering if I ever saw one. I don't even know if the dude's not even gay. told me about that. I mean, my man, shit. Fuck. Who was the one who told me about it on Twitter? Let me find out his name. I don't know if it was Ryoku, but I know it was somebody. I know somebody brought up the, well, why did Finn Balor stop wearing paint? I do not know. I do not know. It's a shame he didn't come out to the Demon. Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about that when I watched it. I really wasn't. I was not thinking about that, but let me find out exactly who told me about that. Shit.
Sorry, I was talking to somebody on Messenger.
No. Fuck. No, it was at Defiance 81. It was at Defiance 1_187. He said, "Why is Finn coming out with 100 gay supporters? This is retarded. Go back
What?
to the Demon and stop this politically correct bullshit." #WrestleMania.
Seriously?
And then he proceeded to tweet me about it. And I couldn't fucking agree with you more, dude. I fucking couldn't stand it.
Did they seriously do that last night?
Shit out of me.
Oh
That
god.
shit really irritated the fuck out of me. I mean, WWE's been fucking PC pandering for a while now. Yo, what's up, Mark?
I don't know if I want to watch Raw tonight either, cause after the way he did that, nope, I'm not watching it.
They were bland. I mean, we didn't get many special entrances. But anyway, for those of you just coming on here, if I don't acknowledge you right away, then don't take it personally, because I'm like looking at it. I'm just basically telling you what happened in the match.
Did Finn Balor seriously bring all the gay supporters out on stage for his entrance? Really? Guys, this is exactly what I hate about politics, being involved in sports entertainment, wrestling, comics, video games, such. The fact that he did that should tell you something.
So anyway, so they do the announcements. They announce that it's for the Intercontinental and the match is underway. And they do the introduction. And they just kind of stand there. They kind of just stand there. I mean, you'll notice Finn Balor smirking during the match. I don't know what the hell he's smirking for.
Finn Balor sucks. I thought when he debuted 2 years ago, I thought he was fine. But now as his characters begin to get boring, as he smiles some more, I can't do it.
For the Miz. He goes for the tie-up for Rollins. He teases it. He puts Balor in a waist lock. Rollins puts Balor in a headlock, and then Balor sends Rollins into Miz, and he shoulder tackles Miz. He takes Rollins with an arm drag. The Miz teases a skull-crushing finale right away, but Balor rolls him out of the way, headlocks him out of it, and then Rollins goes for a pin attempt. And then Miz goes for a pin attempt on Rollins. Balor went to one on Rollins. Miz went for a pin attempt on Balor. And there was your first kick out of the match. Rollins sent he sent Miz over the top rope. Balor went for the reverse roll-up for a pin attempt on Rollins. Rollins went for another pin attempt, but went for a schoolboy, but Balor moved out of the way. Rollins attempted to go early for the curb stomp. Balor went for another schoolboy, which Rollins countered and hit Balor with a super kick. I believe it was to the chest. Balor immediately gets up and sends Rollins over.
I don't know why am I so cold all of a sudden. I mean, I know it's spring, but it shouldn't be this cold like this.
For the springboard senton and takes out both Miz and Rollins. Yeah, I mean, so far they've already went for schoolboys right away. So far so good. Now let's get to Miz Irish whips Balor. Miz goes for a sunset flip. I mean, I'll give Miz credit there. He did a pretty good sunset flip attempt. Balor rolled out of the way, and Balor hit him with a drop kick. And Balor goes for another pin attempt. I mean, throughout this pay-per-view, there's a lot of fucking pin attempts. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you that right now. And Balor hits hits Miz with a knife chop. Balor Irish whips Miz. Miz reverses it. Balor does the leapfrog while holding the top ropes, which is kind of becoming a common thing, especially with a lot of the flippity flop wrestlers. Not that I'm calling him one, but either way. Balor turns around and Rollins catches him with a diving forearm, I believe. Miz sent Rollins into the top turnbuckle. Miz hits Balor with a boot. He goes for another pin attempt. And I believe that, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this was about the 6th pin attempt that they did in
I'm trying to fight this cold, man. It's just like so cold in here, man. Like, I know I sleep with my air conditioning on, but at least I got the balls to turn it off in the mornings.
They show that douchebag John Cena in the crowd. Miz sends Balor into Rollins. Rollins elbows Balor. Rollins boots Miz. Rollins goes for the top rope blockbuster. He goes for the pin attempt on Miz. Another goddamn pin attempt right there. They've been going for a lot of goddamn pin attempts. Rollins hits Miz with the corner forearm in the corner. Rollins goes for a suplex. Miz goes out of the way. He attempts a skull-crushing finale. Rollins gets out of it with an elbow. Rollins goes to the ropes and charges at Miz. Miz counters with a knee. Which, the way Rollins sold that, he flipped over. I didn't even notice until the last second.
My mind be somewhere else, y'all. I don't know why.
Miz goes to the corner clothesline on Balor. He goes to the top rope and he hits Rollins with a diving axe handle. And goes for another pin attempt. I believe we're getting pretty close to double-digit pin attempts here. Miz has Rollins in a chin lock. Hold on. And Rollins slowly gets up to his feet, and Balor's getting up to his feet in the corner. Miz sends Rollins into Balor. Balor sidesteps Rollins, sends him into the top turnbuckle. Miz ducks a clothesline, hits the backbreaker and neckbreaker combination. And he boots Rollins, and then he hits Balor with the neckbreaker. And then he goes for yet another pin attempt. At this point, I just lost count how many goddamn pin attempts happened. There weren't as many kickouts because some of those pin attempts were rolled out of the way. And then Miz has Balor and I believe a grounded Cobra clutch, I believe. Yeah. Balor looked to get out of it, but Miz re-grounded him. And then Balor gets up. Miz Irish whips Balor into the turnbuckle. Miz goes for another diving clothesline, but Balor telegraphs that with a drop kick. Balor hits him with a clothesline. No, he hits him with a forearm, hits him with another forearm, ducks a clothesline, does the leg takedown, and then does a front foot stomp. And I almost thought Balor was going to go for a pin attempt there because The Miz has been going for all these goddamn pin attempts if you paid close attention. Balor hits him with a knife edge chop, and he Irish whips Miz into the other corner. Miz counters with a boot. Miz tried to go to the top rope, but Balor countered him with a head kick, with a side kick to the head, almost like an enziguri. Balor charges Rollins, but Rollins counters with I believe a headlock. Rollins hits a sling blade, and Balor rolls out of the ring. So yeah, not so. Rollins goes for the suicide dive. He hits the suicide dive on Rollins, and he hits the suicide dive on Miz. And Rollins gets back into the ring, and Balor gets back into the ring almost around the same time, and he measures, and then Balor hits him with a sling blade. I don't know who does the sling blade better between Balor or Rollins. I don't know who does it better.
Oh my God.
Balor charges at Rollins but gets hit with a super kick. Miz hits Rollins with the kick and then the DDT to the kneeling Rollins. Rollins kind of oversold that. One thing I'm not a fan of when they have the DDT is when the guy flips over. I just don't think that shit looks good. It makes it look more fake. And that's one thing Jake the Snake Roberts has mentioned when Jake the Snake Roberts was once interviewed. He asked how does he want someone to take the DDT, flat on their face or just flip over? Roberts said flat on their face. I hate the flip over shit. It doesn't look good, and people just and it can break somebody's neck. Which I definitely agree with Jake the Snake Roberts there. I'm gonna be absolutely sure. Yo, what's up, Philly 500? Let me make sure that's actually you. And it is. It is the real Philly 500. Welcome, Philly 500. Oh, you jokingly said, who the fuck's that guy? That's very funny. Well, I don't mind bland attire. At least it's better than at least it's better than that stupid rainbow shit that the goddamn Fag Day comes out to. That shit was horrible.
Yeah, I heard about it too.
I like Rollins' attire. I take bland over that fucking fruitcake shit any day of the week. But that's just my opinion. So Rollins is in the corner. Miz charges Rollins into the corner. Rollins tries to kick him, but Miz sends his leg onto the rope and then kicks him in the upper leg area, kicks him in the thigh. Miz goes for the figure four right away. Rollins boots him right off of him. Rollins tried to charge at Miz, but Miz did the flapjack attempt, the back body drop attempt where Rollins lands on the ring apron. That's become a common theme. Rollins hits Miz with a strike, and then he tries to go for a springboard maneuver, but Miz boots him out of the ring. And Miz he charges Balor. Balor tries to kick him. Miz grabs his boot at the last minute and then yanks it onto the ropes, sending Balor back into the ring. The Miz goes for the figure four right here. He doesn't exactly hit the greatest figure four in the world, but Finn Balor did a really good job selling it, making it look like it was really hurting him. I mean, he did. I mean, I thought he was selling that pretty damn good. He was actually fighting to get out of it. But I think it was when Balor was trying to get to the ropes. Seth Rollins comes in and hits a frog splash on Miz, and then he goes for a pin. And if you pay close attention, you'll notice the crowd going, 2! I'm like, why? Why are you going 2 for? That move wasn't going to end the match. Seth Rollins was not beating The Miz with that move. Who the fuck is Seth Rollins beaten with a frog splash? Or at least in WWE. If anyone can bring up who Seth Rollins beat with that move, then I'll give you a shout out. Although I'll probably give you a shout out anyway, but that was not going to end that match. That was not going to end that match, and pretty much that grounded everybody. I mean, it just came out of nowhere. So Seth Rollins is like staring down Miz. I believe he's staring down Miz here, but Seth Rollins yeah, it was Miz. He was rolling out of the ring. Seth Rollins rolls Miz out of the ring. No, yeah, it was Miz. Miz was on the ground. I thought he wasn't there for a second. But nah, Miz was actually on the ground. Seth Rollins was looking for a buckled bomb. Balor tries to hit him with a knee. Rollins counters Balor. So Rollins tried to buckle bomb Balor onto it, but Balor moved out of the way. He hit Seth Rollins with a sling blade. I believe he hit another third sling blade, and then he hit both Miz and Rollins with a front drop kick, sending them both into the barricade. So he rolls Rollins back into the ring, and he's got him in almost a reverse suplex kind of formation. but Rollins gets out of it. And Balor starts hitting him with a series of strikes. Rollins countered with a strike of his own. Rollins ducks a clothesline, hits him in the waist. Balor counters another tie-up and hits him with an elbow. Rollins hits him with an enziguri. Balor hit him with what almost looked like a Pele. And Balor hits him with a sitting curtain call and gets another pin attempt. And that move wasn't going to end the match. So then Balor goes for the coup de grace stomp, and I knew Miz was going to stop him, and he clubs him in the back of the head. I knew that Miz was going to break that up, because it's usually what happens in a Miz match. And Miz tries to go for the superplex, and they try to do that Tower of London spot. In the match. He ends up pulling Miz away from Balor, and he hits Miz with a buckle bomb. He goes for the superplex on Balor. He hits the superplex on Balor, and Balor
Oh my
counters.
God, Dad.
And he looks like he was going to go for another suplex, but Balor countered with a small package. That didn't end the match. That was...
Hey, you turn down?
Miz out of nowhere hits the skull-crushing finale on Rollins. I thought Rollins dove too far head first. It looked like this part of his head hit the canvas. Even though it didn't really hit it, but still. But nonetheless, that was the first actual pin attempt that was actually going to potentially win. That was actually going to potentially finish the match.
You don't have to keep that loud.
Yeah, I mean, kicking out of finishers has slowly become a theme around here, and I'm not a big fan of it. Yeah, I know. The Lakers lost. Oh, yeah, he never did. Yeah, but with Eddie Guerrero. Well, I'm going to give you the grade for WrestleMania at the end. I'm giving you the grade at the end. The crowd was dead. But Eddie Guerrero and Seth Rollins, Eddie Guerrero and Rob Van Dam, that was actually their finisher. Eddie Guerrero finished with the frog splash, and Rob Van Dam with the 5-star frog splash. Oh, you stopped. Oh, Seb. Yo, what's up, Seb? Yeah, Lakers lost. The fuck else is new? I stopped. Oh, you stopped watching after Daniel Bryan got hurt and CM Punk left? Understandable. When they really started So yeah, that was potentially going to be able to. That potentially end the match, but it ended up not doing so. So Miz is doubled over in selling being injured. He goes for the skull crushing finale on Balor, but he counters with an arm drag. He hits the double leg takedown, goes for a foot stomp. Miz moves out of the way, tries to go for a skull crushing finale. Finn Balor counters with an inside cradle, and that didn't end the match. And yet we have another kick out. I believe we had almost 13, close to 14 kickouts. I don't know. I wasn't exactly counting the goddamn kickouts. Balor went onto the ring apron. Miz tried to charge at him. Balor hit him with a, I believe it was an enziguri, or I don't know what that was. Balor tried to go for the diving coup de grace stomp. Miz pushed down the ropes, and Balor got caught on his nuts. Shit. So Miz goes for another German suplex. No, not a German suplex, a superplex. Balor tried hitting that modified curtain call. Tried hitting the saving grace from the top rope. So now that makes both guys reeling. Seth Rollins is Miz counters Rollins' attempt with a face buster from the top rope. And the announcers mentioned it was a variation of the skull-crushing finale. Balor hits the diving coup de grace stomp on the Miz on his back. And, Finn Balor was favoring that knee. Finn Balor was favoring that knee. And then he started not favoring. No, he was still favoring that knee. And I think it looked like he was going to go for another one. But now he's like trying to work the crowd over, and he's going to measure him for another close. No, it was another drop kick, my bad. Hits him. He goes for another drop kick. He hits another drop kick, and Balor goes for another coup de grace foot stomp. He hits another coup de grace stomp on Balor. No, he hits another coup de grace stomp on Miz. When he goes for the pin attempt, Rollins hits him with a curb stomp, which Balor landed right on Miz's back, and then Balor measures Miz. Measures Miz for the curb stomp. Seth Rollins hits the curb stomp, and Seth Rollins gets the 3 count for the win. So we got a new Intercontinental Champion, Seth Rollins, and this was the outcome I actually would have preferred. I mean, Finn Balor with some of the annoying shit he's been doing.
Yeah.
I mean, Finn Balor's been kind of wearing thin with me. I mean, I do like him as a wrestler, but his personality-wise, with some of the dumb shit that he does, even outside of WWE in real life, even some of the goofy shit that he does, I'm not really a fan of. But yeah, I'm really glad.
I think that's probably why his personality is the way it is now. So I'm glad I'm not a fan of Finn Balor or some goofy stuff. So it's good to see Seth Rollins as the new Intercontinental Championship title.
Basically, when he faced off against. Oh yeah, you love WWE when Daniel Bryan, the Nexus were around back in 2010. That was when I really liked the Kane match with the Kane feud with the Undertaker.
I mean,
all right, next match. So it was a goddamn joke. It was deemed less important. When they had this women's title match happen first, and people were actually looking for this match more than they were looking forward to the Raw.
I was.
Comes in almost this gladiator-inspired entrance with the yellow light. Inspired ropes with the. And then she came out to her own barrier. When they had the floating mask, and it was really weird. They had.
Oh, this wild.
It was. I mean, not too many of the entrances.
Every time I go live,
they really
my Wi-Fi be acting really stupid. I can't stand that
they
stuff.
Really weren't. I mean, one guy. I mean, shit. Who's the guy that said that the entrances were very bland? Carmella should have cashed it. I really didn't care.
Me neither.
When Cena did to Corbin, I stopped giving a fuck about the.
Yeah,
giving a fuck about Money in the Bank.
Me too.
To be completely honest.
I did a video on that last year too.
And, hold on. Who was the guy that said that the entrances were dumb and bland? Shout out to Andrew.
Every single entrance is dumb and bland. The way it's designed.
He said the entrances for the opening match were bland. Yeah, you might be one of the last watching. Actually, you'd be surprised, dude. You really would. But yeah, they do the title introductions, and Charlotte's like hopping around in the corner. Shit. I don't know, dude. So yeah, they do their usual intros, and they start off with a series of tie-ups. They start off with a series of tie-ups where they count each other's tie-ups. Asuka did a front flip and then countered her tie-up with one of her own. Charlotte did a less impressive roll, and Charlotte did a cartwheel, slapped down Asuka's hand, and then shoved her. And then they just started staring each other down, and then Charlotte did the Ric Flair strut, and then they did another tie-up. Asuka hits her with a back kick to the knee. Asuka puts her in a headlock, and Charlotte puts her hand up against her face to counter it. Charlotte does the Irish whip to Asuka. She ducks out of the way, and then Charlotte does the leapfrog. She does the split, and then she does like some weird pose where she's like laying backward with her legs facing where Asuka is, and just trips her at the last second. And she goes for the figure four immediately, and Asuka counters that into a pin attempt. Asuka hits her with an enziguri, goes for another pin attempt. Yeah, there were a lot of pin attempts in this match.
We're back.
There were a lot of pin attempts in this match. And then Asuka starts doing this shit, and they show stupid ass Cena in the crowd again. And they showed stupid ass Cena in the crowd again. Asuka grounds Charlotte, hits her with a double foot stomp, and he hits her with a hip shot. I'm not a fan of that. She tries to go for the hip shot again, but Charlotte counters into a waist lock. Asuka counters with an inside cradle. Charlotte kicks out of that. Charlotte hits her with a knife edge chop. She goes for the series of knife edge chops here, very similar to her old man, especially in the corner. Hits her with a knee, and Asuka Irish whips her into the corner, and then Charlotte did a front flip and ended up on the ring apron. Asuka charged at her. Charlotte tried to go for a shoulder tackle. Asuka telegraphed that and hit her with another kick. And Asuka charged at her, did the hip shot, which sends Charlotte out of the ring and into the barricade. And the referee is going to like check on her. I mean, and Asuka's just in there, and Asuka's like in there standing there. I mean, so far throughout the opening matches, there's been so many pin attempts, which I'm not a huge fan of. But I think because some of the dumb crowds nowadays really stupidly put that shit over, which is why they do it. So she waits for Charlotte to get back in the ring. She gets back in the ring and starts hitting her with a series of kicks. Charlotte tries going for the spine lock, for like a rear waist lock. Asuka counters with an arm lock, and then basically drops her down like that. And she basically has her in this arm bar where she has her arm like this, and she got her hand on her head, and it looks like she was going for some other type of armbar right there. She goes for some armbar right there. Then Charlotte does a flip, and then just hits her right in the face with an elbow. And tries to slap her again, but Asuka telegraphs that with a knee. Asuka tries to go for charges at her, but Charlotte counters with a STO backbreaker, and then proceeded to buy the STO. And at that point, she's just leaning up against the ropes while Asuka's favoring her head. Asuka goes for a neck breaker. Charlotte goes for a neck breaker. Asuka counters that and tries to get her into a submission hold. She's trying to apply the crossface chicken wing, very similar to Bob Backlund. She was getting her in the crossface chicken wing, but Charlotte still remained grounded and was able to counter with a backpack stunner. during that one part was when after she hit the backpack stunner. So she hits the backpack stunner and Asuka's like favoring her mouth. What does it hit her? Oh, wait a minute. Because it's a backpack stunner, it does affect her jaw. My bad. I forgot. And then Charlotte goes for the kidney shots. Asuka pushes her out of the way. Charlotte just easily just grabs her and just tosses her back into the ring halfway and then hits her with a knee. She hits her with a knee there. I'm pretty sure that was a knee. Yeah, it was a knee. I'm pretty sure that was a knee. That was definitely a knee. My bad. So she goes for another knee drop bulldog, what I call, where she's bent over and she drops him with the knee, very similar to the curb stomp or the famouser. And Charlotte goes for a moonsault, and she's not really gonna. And I'm thinking to myself, she's not really gonna connect this, but Asuka moves out of the way and counters with a triangle hold. I almost thought, for some reason, I almost thought that was what was gonna end the match right there. I really thought that was what was gonna end the match. So he has her in that she has her in that triangle hold for a while now, and like Charlotte's like slapping her way trying to get out of it, and Charlotte counters into, which I thought looked like the Walls of Jericho for a second there, but then she goes into the regular Boston Crab. The original Walls of Jericho was actually a elevated Boston Crab, which it looked like she had, but then she went into a regular Boston Crab. Asuka countered it into a cradle. Charlotte countered that into a cradle of her own. Another kick out. I mean, there was a shit ton of kickouts in this match.
Every single match, that is.
There was a good
except for Undertaker and John Cena, which was a 5-minute match, unfortunately. So,
like I said, I'm not a fan of them using the fucking kickouts.
I'm tired of that.
And I guarantee you, you know how Cena's in the crowd, right? Cena's in the crowd. He's probably nodding his approval and saying, "John Cena, I taught them well. John Cena, I've come up with this theory that I'm gonna have everyone kick out of finishers because it works every time."
Not really.
Probably like sitting there nodding in approval.
Not really.
They're not gonna show it, of course. They're not gonna show it. But I can damn well bet you that Cena's like sitting there nodding his approval. Well, he's probably not thinking about that, but just shoves her and goes for a backhand. She pulls Charlotte's arm into the bottom rope, hits her with another drop kick. I believe that was a drop kick of some kind, and yet another pin attempt.
I'll brush my hair in a minute.
And now this look's coming on Asuka's face where she's really getting in the zone. And then she grabs her arm and goes for the series of kicks. She goes for the series of kicks. She goes for the series of kicks right here. And Asuka goes for another kick into the corner. Charlotte grabbed her leg at the last minute, just shoved her down. And then they show Cena again. And then they show Cena again. So Asuka goes for the hip shot again, and then Charlotte moves out of the way, and Asuka got stuck in the ropes at that part, and then Charlotte just simply kicked her in the back of the scapula area, back of the neck area, and Asuka's like laying there at the ring apron, and Charlotte starts picking her up, looking like she was going to. She was teasing a suplex on the ring apron, but Asuka tried to shove Charlotte into the ring post, but she stopped herself at the last minute. Asuka lands a kick. She tries going for another.
It's kind of sad now that you think about it.
And rather than hitting the suplex on the ring apron, she hits it on the floor. Right there, I thought she was going to suplex her on the ring apron. I really did. I thought she was going to suplex her on the ring apron, but it turns out she suplexes her on the floor instead. gets back into the ring. Charlotte gets back into the ring, and fuck. Oh, I'm sorry. I got distracted. So Charlotte starts taunting Asuka as Asuka's grabbing the back of her head like this, and she just taunts her, and then Asuka counters with a flurry of strikes. It's like, whatever. Asuka goes to the top rope, and she starts yelling at her from the top rope, and hits her with a missile dropkick, and yet another pin attempt, and another kick out. Are you surprised? Me either. And I don't know what she was doing here. She looked like she was going for a springboard stretch, but then she starts stomping her instead. And then she kind of starts pulling Asuka over to the top right, the turnbuckle to the top right of your screen. And she's still holding her arm and still holding her wrist and still kicking her. It looked like she was going to go try. I don't know what she was going for there, but then Charlotte counters with a series of knife edge chops, and she does that stupid moonsault side slam. I hate that move. I don't know about you, but I hate that move. I really do. I hate that move because the move just looks so fake. I seriously doubt anyone would try that in real life. That moonsault side slam was a move John Morrison used to do. I don't know if he still does it, but John Morrison did it. Pirate Burchill. I don't know if any of you remember Pirate Burchill. If any of you remember Pirate Burchill, I mean, tell me right now. If you were watching wrestling, if you were watching SmackDown back in 2005 or 2006, somewhere around there, Paul Burchill. For those of you who remember Paul Burchill, for those of you watching back then, you'll remember Paul Burchill, where he had like the pirate gimmick for a while. I like Jeff Hardy. Yeah, she is a weirdo. She is a weirdo. Yeah, but you don't remember Pirate Burchill? Pirate Burchill, he used to dress like a pirate. He used to swing to the entrance and almost a Pirates of the Caribbean. He had the eye black on. He had the eye black on the same way that Captain Jack Sparrow. He looked a lot like Captain Jack Sparrow.
I think I heard something about that one time when he dressed as a pirate.
He did that stupid moonsault side slam as his finisher, and I don't know about you, but I fucking hate it. I really do. I think it's fucking dumb. But that's just my opinion. So anyway, Charlotte goes for a snapmare cutter, and Charlotte counters, and Asuka counters into her submission. And she couldn't get the finisher, she couldn't get the submission all the way because her foot wasn't locked on Charlotte's face all the way. But then she reapplied it, and Charlotte managed to pull her foot off of her, and then Charlotte countered. Asuka tried kicking Charlotte to get out of the figure four. Charlotte goes for the knife edge chops. She blocks the last knife edge chop. Asuka blocks the last knife edge chop and does a fireman's carry and looks like he's trying and gets her back into the crossface chicken wing. I thought the match ended here. I thought this was going to be the finish to the match. But then Charlotte countered into a pin attempt. Asuka hit her with a roundhouse. And then she starts and then Asuka starts taunting her, goes to the ropes, and Charlotte hit her with a spear. And unsurprisingly, there was a pin attempt. And I think Charlotte has finished a few wrestlers off with a spear. I'm not so sure. I haven't been paying attention. I don't really watch SmackDown anymore because I think it's fucking trash now. And she's like looking in disbelief. She couldn't believe it. I mean, come on, crowd. That wasn't going to end the match. It was going to be a submission. A submission move was going to end the match. And then she tries to go into the figure four again. Asuka gets out of it, hits her, kicks her, and then Charlotte just reapplies it and goes into the figure 8, where it's a figure 4, but she stands up even further and does like a back handstand. And there's literally no.
See how much I got on my phone.
Asuka to go, and then Asuka shoots
I'm good.
and soon taps. And Charlotte gets the submission victory and retain. That was pretty disappointing. I'm going to be completely frank with you. I do not agree. I truly feel like Asuka should have won this match.
Yeah, I did too.
I'm not.
I mean, she was an awesome favorite to win the match at WrestleMania, but
I truly thought Asuka should have won this. I really did. But then after the match, Asuka grabs the microphone. It looked like she was going to shake her hand. It looked like Asuka was going to go shake her hand, and Asuka goes to grab a microphone. I'm not a fan of Asuka having the microphone. I'm really not. I'm not a fan of Asuka having the microphone, and this is something WWE does with people that can't talk good. I call it square peg, meet round hole.
racist. That's
what they were doing.
The whole company is racist anyway.
She goes, Charlotte, you beat something to the effect of you beat Asuka, and I don't remember what she said. I didn't pay that close attention, and then they hug it out. So yeah, I was not a fan of that finish. I thought Asuka should have went over. True, but I really don't. But I do watch the main pay-per-views. Yeah, you did make a good point. Oh, don't even get me started on Adam Estrogen and the fucking Rosebuds and the goddamn bunny. Don't even get me started. Yeah, fans would probably turn on her. Yeah. Yeah, they would. The crowd would definitely turn on her. But I don't know. I did not agree with the finish. I mean, if you were cool with the finish, then more power to you. If you agreed with the finish,
what's up, Aaron? How you doing?
That's cool. But anyway, on to the next match, the United States title. The next and Bobby Roode does his usual glorious entrance. I like Bobby Roode's entrance.
Yeah, I do too.
Really do.
Blue lightning with the white.
Song. I was not sold on the glorious gimmick yet.
That's good to hear, buddy.
I'm a fan of the It Factor of professional wrestling in TNA. The It Factor of professional wrestling and the leader of the Selfish Generation when he went on that singles run. That's it. The singles run was great. I mean, remember he and James Storm? I love the match he and James Storm had at Bound for Glory. I mean, James Storm cut way too goddamn deep. He got carried away with that blade job. I mean, he was fucking leaking. James Storm was fucking bleeding like a stuck pig.
Oh, that's good, man. I'm glad you had a good time, man.
Like a stuck pig. I mean, he was leaking, dude.
How was Florida, by the way?
Pretty much the only match James Storm won against him, and I like James Storm. I hope to see him soon. I don't know when he's gonna show up, or if he's gonna show up after all. Yeah, he kind of does. Bobby Roode does have the same pose as Finn Balor.
Okay, I'm glad you had a good time, though.
And
I
then
really did.
English comes out and he does his usual Rusev Day intro. And I'm sorry, but I was not a fan. I did not like the tights that Aiden English had on. Yeah, where it had his own face. It reminded me an awful lot of.
I'm doing good as always, man. You know, God's good as always. Being strong, being happy is what I do. Just having a good life.
Tights that had Jake the Snake Roberts' wife on them, and he started macking on Jake the Snake Roberts' wife before and even after she revealed to him that Jake the Snake Roberts was her husband, and then to play mind games with Jake Roberts, he started wearing her face on his tights with her face on it, and Jake the Snake Roberts mentioned, if he wears those tights again, I'm gonna pull him off his body. And he did, and he wore like a plain pair of tights, and then he wore a plain pair of tights, and then the look came on Ravishing Rick Rude's face, and then he pulled off his regular tights, and it revealed he had Jake the Snake Roberts' wife on his tights he had on underneath.
Oh.
And then Jake the Snake Roberts made a beeline for the ring. He followed
That's messed up.
And I don't even know if he was wearing a loincloth or he actually was fucking butt naked at that point. I don't remember. I don't know. He probably was wearing a loincloth. He probably was wearing a goddamn thong. Yeah, I agree. James Storm should have had a much longer reign as the TNA World Champion. I truly agree with that.
I'm just reacting to Big D's WrestleMania 34 review. He was talking about the first match, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and Miz, and then Seth Rollins became the new Intercontinental Champion. Then he went on to talk about
plain black ones. I mean, they suit him best. So he does his usual Rusev Day.
This is a long review though of that match, and I believe he was talking about Charlotte versus Asuka match. Everybody hated the finish. I was mad that Asuka didn't win the match because she was like an odd favorite to win the women's title, but unfortunately she didn't really win the match. So, and now he's talking about Jinder Mahal and versus Bobby Roode, Trash Mahal versus Bobby Roode. That's what he's talking about now. The U.S. title. And yet he's Canadian, so.
Damn, I should have gotten some water.
I mean, that nigga made listen. That nigga made he made look Indian, but in the end, he's a Canadian. So I don't know what they were getting at. So.
Public service announcement brought to you by Wild Cherry Pepsi. And yes,
hey, I like that flavor too.
Last night.
It's my favorite.
I'm used to drinking it warm because you can't put it back in the fridge. Because if you put it back in the fridge after it's been opened, it's gonna get flatter much faster. So yeah, this fucking.
Oh.
So.
Then why don't you just put a single ball in the refrigerator instead of just like.
He had on this military officer like jacket. That looked, it was like a military officer jacket, but with an.
I don't know why am I yawning like this. You know, I just went to bed like 12 o'clock midnight last night.
And his turban also, I believe, had a gem on it. I mean that was still pretty cool, but Jinder Mahal is still fucking trash. I mean, it was fucking bad enough. It was like a complete goddamn travesty that he was goddamn WWE champion in the first place. I mean, I can give you the list of names that were never WWE champion: Roddy Piper, Jake the Snake Roberts, William Regal, Dustin Rhodes. And I can give you a whole bunch of names. Even Big Van Vader, even though he did. Well, Big Van Vader was WCW champion, so he didn't really need it that badly. And it's a shame. It's quite a disgrace that he could call himself a former world champion, but yet someone like Roddy Piper can't. And Randy Orton makes his entrance, and Randy Orton just made the same entrance that he usually
was this another triple threat match?
Just holds the title up like this. And it's a shame. I thought Custom Rockware was gonna design entrance attire for him for Mania, but he just where he had the hooded leather vest and all that. But nah, he just comes out to his usual ring attire. I thought that was pretty disappointing. If you don't know who Killa Custom Rockware is, it's the woman it's a female that, well, yeah, Jinder actually is Canadian. Yeah, he hasn't been interesting since the Triple H feud. Yeah, I'd agree. I always liked Randy Orton, though. Always have. I like Randy Orton, but Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's
Custom
right. He did
Rock.
have a feud with
If you
Triple
don't
H
know
back
who
in
Killer Custom Rock wears,
2009.
she's the one that designs wrestling attire for the likes of Bray Wyatt, Braun
Uh-huh.
Strowman,
Yeah.
and even Braxton Sutter, and even Braxton Sutter, and also occasionally Randy Orton, and she also designed the attire of the Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan. So yeah, Custom Rockwear designs a lot of almost metal and rock and roll style attire, like customized jeans and all that. I mean, you should definitely look her up. Type in KYLLA Custom Rockwear, and you should see some of her designs. She designed Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman's attire. Well, at least Braun Strowman's pants. And I thought that was pretty damn cool. So yeah, they make the announcements. So the so Randy Orton ducks the Randy Orton. No, what happened? So they're all it's a fatal four-way. Jinder actually has a ponytail this time. Not that anybody cares. I liked his military officer like jacket with an Indian vibe, but he's still fucking trash. The Trash Raja goes for a clothesline on Orton. Orton ducks it, tries to go for an RKO. Jinder ducks out of the way. Bobby Roode sends him over the top rope. Rusev sends Orton through the middle rope. Rusev hits Bobby Roode with a nasty-looking dropkick. Rusev hits a pretty sweet dropkick for a guy his size. I mean, he's not small. I mean, yeah, he's a little short, but he's still a big man. And he teases, and it looks like he was going to go for a suicide dive, but Jinder actually cuts him off with an elbow. And Rusev retaliates with a right hand. Rusev gets out of the ring, and Rusev measures Orton, and he says Rusev Day, and then he does the front flip senton on Orton and Jinder. So Rusev is working you look at Rusev and Aiden English are both working the crowd over. More so Aiden English. Aiden English is working the crowd over. And he gets out of the ring, he sends Bobby Roode back in the ring. Bobby Roode goes for a schoolboy. It wasn't going to end the match. Rusev hits him with a kick to the gut. Rusev sends him into the corner turnbuckle. Roode counters with the knees. Roode goes for a blockbuster. Roode goes for a pin attempt.
Sorry, that was my Instagram.
Again, that was not going to end the match. Jinder gets back in. Roode hits him with a right. Randy Orton hits him with a right. Roode hits him with a right. Then Orton. Then Roode. Roode hits him with a kick this time. And then Roode just sends Jinder out of the ring. He didn't really feed into those strikes all that great. Roode hits Orton with a knife edge chop. He goes for a couple knife edge chops. Irish whips Orton. He ducks under it, and Orton hits him with a scoop slam. Again, not going to end the match. Thank God the crowd didn't really think that was going to end the match. Orton looked like he was gonna go for a draping DDT. Roode hits him with a shoulder tackle. Roode goes to the top rope. Randy Orton hits him with a right hand. Orton looks like he was going for a superplex. Orton goes for a superplex. And strangely enough, he actually does hit it. I thought Roode was going to power out of it like they usually do. It's usually predictable that every time they go for a superplex, they usually never go for it, but this time they did. And Orton goes for a pin attempt at both Jinder and Rusev. Both Jinder and Rusev break up the pin attempt. It was like simultaneous. And then Rusev and Jinder start staring each other down, and then Jinder starts pleading to Rusev to form a temporary alliance, and then Rusev looking at him like, "You're kidding me, right?" And he's like, "You're kidding me, right?" And then he just hits Jinder from behind. hits him with a series of stomps in the corner. And as Aiden English is like all fired up in the ringside area. So basically, Aiden English is his hype man, so to speak. Rusev goes for like a spinning backside slam. Jinder was pretty heavy on that move, but I'm not gonna. I mean, even though Jinder's fucking trash, I'm not gonna penalize him for that because I don't really get all worked up over people working heavy or working light. I mean, at least as long as you make the move look like it fucking hurts, I'm totally okay with it. Although Orton hits him with a back suplex on the barricade. Rusev was lighter on that move when Orton hit it than Jinder was when Rusev hit it on him.
Yeah, I don't think I cared, but I don't think I cared that much about the United States Triple Threat match.
Double R spine buster, and for another 2 count.
You want to know what I forgot about WrestleMania? Think about AJ Styles and Nakamura match. That's the only match I forgot about, but somebody won. I don't know.
And where he does this, and he goes glorious. It almost reminds me of Matt Hardy's pose when he goes wonderful.
Man, won't get Matt Hardy's gimmick is stupid.
Jinder gets out of the way. Rude
Yo, really trying to copy TNA.
Sunset flip, and Orton breaks up the pin. Randy Orton sends Rude into the ring post, and that knocks Rude out of the ring. And right now, Randy Orton's the only one left in the ring. Rusev is like on the middle area, and Jinder like all the way somehow made it all the way to the right side. And Randy Orton went for the draping DDT, and I actually thought he was going to hit it here. I really did. I didn't think they would give Rusev the honors of getting out of the draping DDT. He hits Orton with a series of side kicks to the biceps, to the triceps. No, actually to the triceps, not the biceps. Hits him with a hip strike. Goes for another hip strike, and he just flies and just lands on his back. And he ends up on the ring apron, and that's where Orton hits him with the draping DDT. That was not going to end the match. And you'll notice Orton took a long time. He paused for a pretty long time there before he hit the draping DDT, and then Orton starts showboating. Orton starts showboating there for a second. And soon enough, he starts measuring Rusev for the RKO. I mean, he was showboating for a while now. And then he hits it, and then Aiden English hits the ring, and it easily gets disposed of with an RKO. Rusev goes for the Machka kick. Randy Orton counters with an RKO. Jinder Mahal went for the knee strike. Orton countered him with an RKO, and went for the pin attempt, and then Rude quickly broke it up. And he sent Rusev out of the ring. He threw Rusev out of the ring through the middle rope. Randy Orton went for the RKO. Rude countered, and he hit the glorious DDT on Orton. I like the way Orton took that move. And then Jinder, I don't know what the fuck he was doing. I don't know what the fuck Jinder was doing, but when Jinder broke up that pin, he was flying a little far to his left. It didn't look like he actually hit the guy to force the breakup. It looked like he just gave him a little love tap with his forearms on the left side. Go back and look at that. Go back and look at the way Jinder broke up that pin attempt. You'll see that he hit his forearm barely even touching the guy's head, and he just rolled right to the side. He hits Randy Orton with the Machka kick. He hits Rude with the Machka kick. He goes for a roundhouse on Rusev. Jinder ducks it and goes for a schoolboy. Rusev hits a roundhouse kick, and Rusev now has that look on his face. Now has that look up on his face. He's like looking toward the area. It looked like he was about to go for the accolade. He's like sitting there. He's like nodding his head. He's sitting there. He's nodding his head. He goes, Rusev crush. And And when he goes for the accolade, one of the midget fucks on the goddamn ring apron, Jinder goes right in front of him. Rusev charges him. Jinder gets out of the way, and he hits that midget fuck and he hits the one Singh brother with the super kick, and Jinder Mahal hits the fucking Cobra Clutch Slam, the Colossus, and this no talent fuck Stain gets the 3 count. So. Yeah,
I heard.
That was another goddamn result I really didn't want to fucking see happen. This fucking trash bum, Juicer Mahal getting another.
You know, I wonder if Bruce Blitz is going to review WrestleMania 34 because I know he's going to trash on us like crazy.
Fuck about him unless one of his 2 Golden Boys has it, John Cena or Roman Reigns. But yeah, that was fucking bullshit. Yeah, that was really fucking bullshit. And Jinder looking like he's constipated, looking like a Boeing 747 was shoved up his ass. I thought that was complete fucking bullshit. I really did. Hold on, let me see. What year did I think the WWE started going downhill? Well, there's multiple. I think when Benoit died, I think you're 200% correct there. When Benoit died and Linda McMahon ran for the Senate, tried to run for a Senate and made it PG, and then they shoved Cena down our throats.
Yeah. You know, now you think about it, that's kind of like how it is, though.
Which I could agree with. Which I could agree with. I can agree with that. So up next, Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple Ego, and Screeching McScam. I fucking hate Stephanie.
Me too.
I always hate Stephanie.
Me too.
I can't stand her. So basically they had another.
You know how they always said that they're playing characters on TV, but in real life they're actually jerks. That's why they ain't put China in the Hall of Fame 2 years ago.
Like they were this year, but it was another motorcycle entrance, just like it was last time. And they did the usual entrance. And Kurt Angle makes his entrance, and he and Ronda Rousey actually came out separately. I was expecting them to come out together, but they didn't. They came out separately, believe it or not. I cannot stand Stephanie. She is one of the major reasons I quit watching.
Same.
She's one of the many reasons I quit watching.
Every time I look at her, man, she irritates me.
For a second, my throat's getting dry. Let me go get some water. I'll be right back.
I mean, I kind of hate Stephanie too. What made me lose respect for both of them is because when they said that they're not going to put China in the Hall of Fame 2 years ago, when China actually reached out to Triple H and Stephanie, she wanted to work things out, but they denied her. So that's why she was still going through what she was going through, you know, doing drugs and stuff. I thought she was sober and clean for a few years though, but once she got back into it though, she overdosed. And so therefore I do blame Triple H and Stephanie for not putting her into a Hall of Fame, not wanting to, you know, make amends with her. So
some water, idiot. Yeah, I was not quite prepared. So yeah, Kurt Angle makes his entrance first. I'm irritated as fuck by the "You Suck" chants. I really am.
yeah.
I don't give a fuck if they were lovingly, but I just hate them. To me, the "You Suck" chants for Kurt Angle's entrance. I mean, it does kind of make the song sound better, but it only worked when he was a heel. Let's be real.
Right.
Yeah, oh, nice rhymes, D. And then Ronda Rousey makes her entrance, looking basically wearing the same came out with the same font, the same colors, and the same leather jacket with the flannel interior. And she came out to this song called New Generation, which was back from 2001. For those of you, have any of you watched Shrek? Have any of you watched Shrek back in 2001? Have any of you watched Shrek? It was a part where Shrek meets Lord Farquaad, and Farquaad orders his men to kill him. And then that song plays. The song that Ronda Rousey came out to.
Man, Ronda Rousey needs a new theme. I don't like that thing. So why did they give her this theme? I have no idea.
Instead of Rowdy, it said Rousey. It's like, was she always like this, or did she at least have her own fucking identity back in UFC? No, not UFC. My bad. But anyway, yeah, she's like hopping around in the ring before they make introductions. So yeah, it started off as a mixed tag team. So the mixed tag team rules is only the men attack the men, the women attack the women. You know how it goes. And right before the match, Stephanie comes in and just cheap shots Rousey. She completely cheap shots Rousey. I mean, what did you expect her to do? Because she's not really good for anything. She's not really good for anything else.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was before the match started. She came up from behind and slammed Ronda Rousey right on her goddamn head. So yeah, it started out with Kurt Angle and Triple H. Triple H goes for the right, Angle counters with a series of rights. Angle goes for the Irish Whip, Triple H counters, sends Angle to the turnbuckle. Angle uses that as momentum and clotheslines Triple H. Angle starts hitting him with the rights and starts hitting him with a series of stomps in the corner and also a series of rights. And Triple H is stumbling right now. Angle goes for another right hand. Angle sends him into and Angle hits another back body drop. Sends him into the turnbuckle, hits a back body drop, and all of a sudden you can already see Triple H already looks fatigued because he doesn't wrestle too often. Keep in mind, and I think this time he's in his WrestleMania build. So yeah, you look at how he was at Survivor. You look at how he was at Survivor Series. He didn't look all that great at Survivor Series, but at WrestleMania he was able to get on his flaxseed oil and his fish oil. So he's on his supplements this time. So Angle works him over with an arm lock, keeping Triple H grounded. Looking to tag Rousey in, but then Stephanie teases getting in, and the referee turns his attention to Rousey. Angle gets sent out of the ring, which Stephanie aided in. So Triple H gets out of the ring. He sends Angle into the ring stairs. I mean, Triple H does use a lot of props in his match. I'm shocked he didn't use Triple H does use a lot of props in this. I'm shocked he didn't use the sledgehammer. Oops, I pretty much gave away that he didn't use the sledgehammer in this match. While the referee was paying attention to Rousey when Triple H got back into the ring, Stephanie slammed Angle's head on the ring stairs, and Rousey went to charge her. The referee told her to get back. So yeah, I mean, this whole match, Rousey just wanted to get her fucking hands on her. And Triple H sends Angle back into the ring with a suplex. Triple H starts working Angle over with a series of strikes. Starts working Angle out. Yeah, I mean, he was landing in those shots. And he sends Angle into the corner. He slaps Angle in the corner. And he sends Angle into the middle rope. where he's like he was wrenching his neck onto the middle rope, and then Stephanie started doing it while Triple H had the referee distracted. Yeah, I should have guessed that they were gonna do that kind of shit in this match. And Rousey at this point, Rousey just badly wants to get into this match. Triple H goes for another strike. Angle hits him they start trading blows. Hits him with strikes. Angle starts getting the better of Triple H right there. Triple H hits him with a side spine buster. And a pin attempt. That wasn't gonna end the match. I mean, Stephanie's at this point is just fucking smirking. It's like, yeah, fuck you. The company's absolutely dying a slow death with you at the helm.
Yeah.
Can't stand you. And
Yeah.
Angle's like badly trying to get Rousey tagged in, but Triple H denies him and has him in a chin lock, and then he puts him in a headlock. He works Angle over with the headlock. Angle at this point, Angle was like it was still stepping forward and like it was like trying to lifting Triple H off the ground just to get to her. I mean, Triple H still had him in the headlock, and he was like trying to step forward. I mean, he almost got to her, but not quite. And then he sent Angle into the corner. Triple H charged at him, and Angle dropped him with a boot. And at that point, it was only a matter of time before Stephanie cheap shot it again. And Triple H went to charge at Angle to take advantage of it, but Angle ducked out of the way, and Triple H almost knocked Stephanie out of the ring first, just like I'm pretty sure he did that last year, but...
I would have loved for that to happen.
In this match, he looked like he was about to hit her, but not quite. He didn't quite get her. And you saw that look come on her. You saw that look come on her face, like, holy shit, that was close. Almost happened again. And then she gets out of the ring. Angle still looks to tag Rousey in. Rousey hasn't been in this match. So far, it's been all Angle and all Triple H. Angle hits Triple H with a back suplex. I mean, so far, Angle's been getting the better of Triple H, aside from a few Stephanie cheap shots. And Angle starts slapping the floor just to give himself some momentum. And then right here, Angle and damn near, it looked like he was about to tag Rousey in, but Stephanie pulled Rousey's leg off the leg and pulled her off the apron at the last second. And then she just sprinted right back to her corner, and then she starts smirking. And then she starts bouncing around. She starts bouncing around and fucking smirking. And it's like, how about fuck you? How about fuck you? How about that? How about you're one of the worst fucking things? You're one of the worst fucking things anybody could watch on TV. You and John Cena both make Buffalo Sabres games look like must-see TV. You make Phoenix Suns games look like must-see TV. Triple H goes for a pedigree attempt. Angle gets out of it and sends Triple H out of the ring. It looked like he sent Triple H into the sent Triple H into the bottom left turnbuckle, the bottom left of your screen, but I don't know what the hell that was. I don't know if it looked like a combination of him sending him into the... Go back and look at that. You'll see that it looked like he was sending him into the barricade. No, not the barricade, the turnbuckle, but Triple H went over the top rope. It was really weird. I didn't know what to make of that. I don't know if Triple H fucking oversold that or he botched something else. I'm not really sure.
He probably botched it.
But I think at this point, and then Stephanie's yelling, Hunter! Hunter! Because she has that anxiety going on because she knows Angle's about to tag Rousey right here. And she knows that Angle's about to tag Rousey in there. She got that look on her face, and then she just stands there, and Rousey just fucking grabs her by the hair and pulls her into the ring. And she ducks that move, hits her with a clothesline, and just dares her to do anything. Fucking counters her with an arm, does the arm drag, hits her with a back suplex. And right now, Rousey's fired up. This is what she was waiting for the entire time. This is what Rousey was waiting for the entire time in this match. And then she starts hitting her with a series of strikes, and she does her best Cena impression and doesn't defend her fucking gut. It doesn't defend her fucking torso. She's like standing here the whole time as Rousey's like really letting her have it. And Rousey does another hair pull drag. Rousey hits a hair pull drag. And right there, Rousey like pulling hair. It looked like making it look like she grabbed pieces of her hair when Rousey did that. When Rousey did the hair pull drag, and Rousey hits her with another cradle suplex. Rousey hits her with a cradle suplex, and right now she has that smug look on her, and now she has the smug look on her face, and she's like in the corner just begging her to stop. Like that's seriously going to work, but either way. I don't know if you saw that. Go back and look when Rousey pulled, and then Rousey fucking does a monkey flip, and it has her into another arm drag, and it looked like she was teasing a submission right here. It looked like she was teasing a submission, and she just basically held it, and it looked like she had Stephanie in the. It looked like she was about to put Stephanie in the armbar, and shout out to Bruce Blitz. Bruce Blitz brought this up on Twitter. Let me bring up Blitz. Shout out to Bruce Blitz here. He brought this up on Twitter. I'm gonna show you what he said. Fuck. I'm gonna find it right here. It said he basically was like, so Miesha Tate couldn't block Rousey's armbar, but Stephanie can. Stupid as fuck. And I absolutely agree. That was stupid as fuck. The way that was stupid as fuck. Again, pandering Stephanie's ego there. Again, so she basically has her in like the same position before she went for the armbar. And it was so fucking stupid. And I believe she countered it twice. It was so dumb. But either way, she was like, at this point, Stephanie was like trying to slam her head onto the canvas, and she raked her eyes. And she noticed that during the whole time that Stephanie when Ronda was kicking that piece of shit's ass, you'll notice that Triple H was in the corner, was still laying there when he took that bump off the top rope. It looked like he was going to get hit with the turnbuckle, but he actually went over the top rope instead. Triple H is still laying there even after all that. Yeah, I mean, really? So basically that shit just completely wiped him out. That shit completely wiped him out, I guess. And all of a sudden, Ronda Rousey's offense is completely gone. Stephanie hits her with a knee lift and then a DDT and then goes for a pin attempt. Like Ronda Rousey's defense, Ronda Rousey's offense right here just completely vanished. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And then she hits her with a fucking sidekick. Hits it, and then she goes for that standing surfboard stretch. I thought she was going to hit a couple cheap kicks to the head right there, but she didn't. Very similar to the Asuka Charlotte match earlier. I thought she was going to hit her with a series of stomps, but she didn't. But no, she held the surfboard position until Ronda Rousey got up to a vertical base, and Stephanie just completely dropped her right back down. And then she just hit her with another cocky stomp. And now she just completely taunted. Not very smart. Make her, and not to mention she's fucking smirking, and then Ronda Rousey grabs her, gets her in a chokehold, and I believe right here Triple H shows up out of nowhere. I mean, he was laying in that corner the whole time, from the beginning, from right before Rousey tagged in, and Rousey grabs Stephanie on her shoulders and hits some variation of the F5. It was like some spinning Samoan drop or Death Valley driver. I don't know what the hell that was. I don't know what the hell that finisher Rousey hit was. but it was like some variation of the F5, probably because her and the Lesnar comparison showed up, and Triple H breaks it up. Triple H breaks it up. He shows up out of nowhere. It was unbelievable. I mean, through all that, Triple H just pulls the referee out of the match at the very last minute, at the very last second. And not to mention Triple H is arguing with the ref at this point. And he and Rousey are exchanging words, basically taunting each other. And then Triple H pulls Rousey out of the ring, very aggressively, I might add. And the referee now looks even more pissed off at him. And then Angle shows up out of nowhere and hits him with the right hands. And smashes Triple H's head first onto the announce table. And then again, I thought he was going to destroy the Spanish announce table here. I mean, hell, it's not a WrestleMania without a destroyed announce table, right? The destroying the announce table spot happens an awful lot during WrestleMania, if you've noticed. But it didn't happen this time. Triple H countered whatever Angle was trying to do, and then just sent Angle into the other announce table that wasn't taken apart. And then Triple H just gets out of the ring, and he goes to check on Stephanie. Stephanie, you okay? So I mean, he just and she looked knocked the fuck out, and right here, this was the interesting spot in the match. Like right here, you got Rousey. Look at she's like daring Triple H. I mean, right now, Ronda Rousey. I'm like, really? Ronda Rousey wants to go at it with Triple H? I mean, she's like, come on. She's like, she got her fist up, and Triple H was like kind of talking with the referee. I don't know if he was like trying to talk him out of. I don't know if he was like trying to tell him to get out of the way. It looked like. I didn't know what was going on, but
I didn't realize it was almost 1:30.
Yeah, you want to go?
What time did I start streaming? Like what?
Like, yeah, right. Like you're
Look
really
around 11 or something.
Maybe Triple H being his smug self. And then they start exchanging blows, and then Ronda Rousey gets on the offense on Triple H and backs him into a corner. And if you've noticed during that, Triple H looked like he was having a seizure when he was blocking. When he was trying to block her shots, Triple H looked like he was going into a Sorry about that. I kind of knew that was going to happen. And Triple H looked like he was going into a seizure when Ronda Rousey had that offense. And then Irish whips Rousey. Triple H tries to go for a kick. Rousey grabs his leg and does a leg takedown. And then does a roll through pin attempt, and then enter in a fireman's carry. And right here, you knew that Stephanie was going to show up and interfere. There was no way they were going to follow through with this. And then Stephanie does that stupid fucking slap. I hate when she does that. It's so fucking annoying.
That slap didn't even, won't never affect anybody.
They do the chaser around the ring shit. And she goes to escape through the barricade, and then Rousey just slams her head against the barricade. She just pulls her hair and then she just slams her head against the barricade. And then she looks to go for a ring post, and she sends Rousey head first through the ring post. And another ring post spot. There was the ring stairs spot with Angle, and then there was the ring post spot with Rousey. And meanwhile, Angle ducks a clothesline, and it hits Triple H with the belly-to-belly, going back into the ring. Hits him with another belly-to-belly, and Irish whips him. And Triple H did the over-to-the-knee face buster. He didn't lose his balance this time. He lost his balance during Survivor Series, and then Angle ducked the clothesline, went for a couple German suplexes. Now, this was Suplex City before Brock Lesnar. Before Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit.
Oh crap! I forgot that this video was 3 hours long. I might not be able to do the whole video, guys.
Brock was, but I think
once he finished doing the review of Triple H, mixed tag match.
goes
I'm gonna
Angle
end it off in part 1.
does the leg takedown.
I'm gonna see if I can do part 2, maybe later on today, if I had time to charge my phone.
He goes for
So
another pedigree, but Angle goes for the ankle lock again. But then he just catapults Triple H into the turnbuckle and hits the Olympic slam. And then he goes for a pin attempt. Yeah, I knew the match wasn't going to end like that. To be honest with you, going into this match, I badly wanted Stephanie to take the pin or the submission. I didn't want Triple H eating the fucking pin. I really didn't, because it was really protect. Because it sounds like to me like they were going to try to protect Stephanie, and I really didn't want that. So the straps come down, and Angle is dead serious. He goes for the ankle lock, but Stephanie pulls her off Angle, and then she starts taunting her and gets up in his face. And this Angle's just looking at her like, what the fuck? And she tried to fucking kick him, and then Angle just easily blocked it. He blocked it with ease. And it looked like he was gonna tease her going through the ankle lock, and Angle's like looking around. And the crowd really the crowd popped for that. And then Angle had her in the ankle lock. I'm like, that wasn't going. There was no way that was going to end the match. You knew Triple H was going to interfere and actually hit the pedigree. Triple H hits the pedigree, and Angle gets the shoulder up. Angle gets the shoulders up. Well, no, he doesn't get the shoulders up. Ronda Rousey broke up the pin. So Triple H is like looking in disbelief, and Ronda Rousey's on the ground. Triple H is standing, and he's like staring her down. And at that point he had that sadistic look in his eyes, if you noticed. And then Triple H teased going for the pedigree. Triple H teased going for the pedigree. He was holding it for a long time. And then he was tried to go for a powerbomb, and then Rousey countered with the Hurricane Rana. And now she has Triple H in the cross-legged armbar. And now he has Triple H in the armbar. And you were looking here. No, that wasn't going to end the match either. And then Stephanie broke it up and caught her from behind and has her in a chokehold. And then she gets up to a vertical base and just flips Stephanie back over and has her and puts her in the armbar now. I'm like, oh sweet, yeah, I'm totally okay with this ending the match. And in succession, Kurt Angle has Triple H in the ankle lock. And I'm thinking Angle usually doesn't get the submission victory unless the ankle lock's in the grapevine. Whenever Angle gets the submission victory, he usually puts the ankle lock in the grapevine, and then Triple H gets out of it, and Angle accidentally hits Rousey. I'm like, oh wow, that should have been the finish to the match, in my honest opinion. I'm like, really? I thought that should have been that should have been the finish to the match right there. So yes. So Triple H goes for the pedigree, and as does Stephanie. I'm like, oh no, don't tell me this is the end. And then Angle, the Triple H kind of botched the back body drop when Angle, and then, fuck. Yeah, I mean, you should have seen Triple H. He completely fucking botched. He kind of botched going to the top rope. He botched it. Or maybe that was Angle's fault. Triple H kind of bashed the body drop, and then Rousey hit Stephanie with a back body drop. Stephanie tried going for a sunset flip, and Rousey rolled out and finally has Stephanie in the submission hold. Has her in the armbar, and she's like barely trying to get out. She's like screaming in pain at this point. I mean, she was selling screaming in pain. And it looked like she was like, it was very interesting, the very last part. She lets go of it for a second, but still has her grounded. But she kind of lets go, and she's like, and Stephanie's begging right there. And then Rousey just continues to reapply the submission, and Stephanie taps quite easily. I really thought Rousey stole this match. I really did. Rousey was the one that made this match interesting.
Yeah, since this is her first wrestling match. That's it. It's done with review.
Yeah, it pretty much was. Oh, you would? Yeah, I don't give a shit about basketball either. But yeah, the match was so. Yeah, I thought Ronda Rousey stole this match.
Yeah,
I really did.
She stole the show. Even though it was her first match, she stole the show.
And now for the SmackDown titles.
All right, guys. I'm going to end this off in part 1 of Big D's review of WrestleMania 34. I'll get back with y'all in about a few hours once my phone charges up. Maybe fast, maybe slow. I don't know, but I'm gonna try to get back with y'all in a while. So, thank you all for tuning in with me. I really appreciate the love that you guys are watching this review with me, and I will get back with you all very soon. Take care and have a good one.